માતાજી
जय श्री माता जी। हम सभी लोग श्री माता जी को नतमस्तक होकर प्रणाम करेंगे और सामूहिक बंधन लेंगे। लेट अस ऑल humbly bow down at Shri Mataji's lotus feet and take collective bandhan. अपने चित्त को सहस्त्रार पर माँ के श्री चरणों में रखते हुए हम सब माँ के अमृत वचनों को आत्मसात करेंगे. कीपिंग आवर अटेंशन ऑन सहस्त्रारा एट Shri Mataji's lotus feet, we will now listen to Shri Mataji's Amrit Vani.
Today in the land of Shri Krishna, we are celebrating the birthday of Shri Ganesha. It's something very unprecedented and of a very significant value, that you should be celebrating the birthday of Sri Krishna's son in his own land. You know that Sri Ganesha incarnated on this earth as Mahavishnu, and he was the son of Radha, who incarnated as Lord Jesus Christ. So by celebrating this birthday, today you are recognizing the greatest truth, that Lord Jesus Christ was the son of Shri Krishna. There's a story about it if you read in the Devi Mahatmya, how this primordial child took a form of an egg and half of it remained as Sri Ganesha and half of it became Mahavishnu. In the evolutionary process, all these happenings of the antiquities have been recorded, but today I feel so gratified that on the human level people have understood. Christ is the incarnation of Lord Ganesha. He is the eternal child. But in the form when he came as Christ, he came as the son of Shri Krishna. But when Parvati made Shri Ganesha, he was the son of Parvati alone. There was no father. Parvati herself wanted to have a child of her own. There were angels who were dedicated either to Vishnu or to Shiva, like Ganas, where dedicated to Shiva alone. So she wanted to have her own son who can permeate her powers on this earth. So to begin with, when the Shakti created this universe and Sadashiva was watching her creation, the first thing she created on this earth was innocence. And the embodiment of that innocence was Shri Ganesha. The whole universe was covered with innocence, which we call as Omkar. This innocence protected all the creation of the world and penetrated into all that is matter. Matter is innocent. If you hit the matter, it will hit you back because it is built like that. It doesn't want to harm you by any method, except that if you try to hit it, it hits you back in its own nature. So it was called as Jada, the one that acts according to the built-in nature. Innocence in the animals is of another kind, where the animals do not know that they are committing crimes. Animals, when they say kill an animal, another animal, or trespass your properties, create nuisance all over, they don't know they are committing a sin or they are disobeying some laws. They live with the laws that are built within them. That's why they are called as pashus, means bondage, the pasha. Pasha means the bondage. They are under the bondage of the laws of God. Shri Shiva is called as Pashupati. Up to that stage, the innocence remains intact. Because there is no development of ego in them. So they are innocent. A tiger may eat a cow, still he is innocent. Or an elephant may trample over a human body, still he is innocent. But when going to a higher state, the Mother Shakti, the primordial mother, thought of creating a personality who will protect the innocence of human beings. Above the matter, above the animals, she created Shri Ganesha. And you know the story of Shri Ganesha, how he got the head of an elephant, symbolizing that Shri Ganesha, though he is a human being, he is like an animal as far as his head is concerned, that too of Shri Gajanana, in the sense that he has got the head of an elephant, which is the wisest animal in the animal kingdom. So in such a head which is innocent, ego cannot develop. There is no ego. It's an egoless state. But human beings were created in a different manner, and when carbon was placed to create the amino acids, it also set in motion a new type of evolution in human beings, that at the Vishuddhi level, human beings raised their heads like this. Animals' heads are on the ground. So the energy flows downward into Mother Earth. But when man raised his head above against the energy of gravity, then a new complication started in the energy flow. And that is how at the Vishuddhi a problem started, where Kundalini could not nourish or look after that problematic Vishuddhi. The reason is, when you raise your head from the Mother Earth, you remove yourself away from the natural power of Mother Earth. When you take your Vishuddhi upward like that, you see the result of that in this country, which is the country of Vishuddhi Chakra. That you started going to machines which are against nature, extracting the nature, disturbing the nature by creating atomic bombs, by changing the atom, breaking it. That means you went against the nature itself by raising your head. But if it was done in complete surrender to God, with your bent head towards the Mother Earth, it would not have harmed. But when you completely cut off yourself from that nature, which is so bountiful, which is so gracious. Yesterday you saw the beautiful pictures of the nature that surrounds you in this country. Such a rich country like America, without any gratitude towards its creator, raised its head upward. That's how the Vishuddhi problem started coming up. In every walk of life, the whole social structure was built up to fight the nature, not to go along with the nature. So the first attack came on the innocence itself, on the Muladhara itself. So the natural ways of Muladhara were given up. Marriage system has been here much before Christ, much before Abraham, much before Moses. And a sanctified marriage which was blessed by the society was acceptable since long. But man in his arrogance raised his voice against the marriage, against the natural way of leading a life of sanity. If it was natural to be the way people lead their private life, why do they get all kinds of diseases? If you are a natural person, you don't get any diseases. Because you are anti-nature, that's why. In this country, how many men and women were murdered for jealousy? If it was natural to be in love with 10 men and 10 women, then why jealousy? You should be happy, it's very natural. Because the head was raised at Vishuddhi Chakra, without surrendering to Shri Krishna, anti-life, antibiotic atmosphere started growing. And this kind of life has taken this great country now to the brink of complete destruction. The attack of innocence is the greatest weakness of this country. Not to value the power of chastity and a chaste life is the biggest mistake that was created by the people who started all kinds of trends and fads. Ganesha is the root of creation. When you go against Sri Ganesh, you start losing your roots. You have no roots at all. Then you get drifted into anything stupid, anything new that comes up. So much so that a person like Freud was worshipped and they forgot Christ, who said, "Thou shalt not have adulterous eyes." Ganesha to that level that even the eyes have to be innocent. There should be no lust in your eyes. But arrogance made them feel, what's wrong? What's wrong in this? What's wrong in this? Now the whole country is facing a great crisis because of arrogant enterprises. Still, they make a martyrdom out of all that is destructive. It's a very great responsibility on the Sahajogis who live on the line of Shri Ganesha. But for the people who live in the land of Shri Krishna, the responsibility is absolutely on your neck. And you can't get out of it unless and until you understand the importance of innocence in your life. You cannot save this country, whatever I may try to do for it. It's only you who are going to save it. It's only you who are going to make it. When the Kundalini rises, Shri Ganesha is awakened in you. The Ganesha whom you never respected slowly comes up from his slumber, out of the hurt and the injuries inflicted on him. Still he stands up, but still weak. How are we going to nourish it? How are we going to look after its growth? The responsibility of Sahajogis of America is very great. They cannot cheat anymore themselves. They cannot be satisfied with their arrogance. The mistakes have been grievous. So you have to take it up as a crusade against those mistakes and to establish your Shri Ganesh in a full form so that he gives you the necessary balance and the roots to nourish yourself. It is shocking first. You just can't understand. It is impossible to see how you could accept such absurd ideas. How you could take to such funny things which are obviously horrid. Are we not aware of certain words like prostitution and all other dirty words that they use, which I don't want to say just now? Or they have lost their meanings. We were all aware of it. We all knew about it. Haluna, come on. Don't do that. Stay. You should not. When I am speaking, you must keep quiet, alright? Have we lost all wisdom from our minds that we cannot see what we have done to ourselves? We have no self-respect. Arrogance to that limit is very dangerous, extremely unpredictable. And God knows what can come through with all these ventures we have gone into. I would say for Sahajogis, I will given some instructions with people how they should respect their privacy of life. Especially the women of America. If they have to be the Shaktis, they have to respect themselves, their chastity. But so surprising that when we see outside all these things happening, even after coming to Sahaja Yoga, some of us try to be one of them who are going to hell. If you have to save them, then try to fix your positions properly. Shri Ganesha has 4 hands. And the hand that carries the destructive weapon of Parasha is the one you have to be careful about. That is his job. And if you neglect him, that force will act. And act so vehemently that despite your realization, you may not be able to save yourself. Do not take your realization for granted. Unless and until your Ganesha is settled, your realization has no meaning at all. Watch yourself. Have you got adulterous eyes? Have you got an adulterous mind? What is your expectation about Sahaja Yoga? So many things that in Sahaja Yoga, God blesses you, then you must get a good amount of health, money, and position, power. The first thing you must ask for is the pure Ganesha, Nirmal Ganesha. Oh Mother, please give us the blessings of establishment of purity in our Ganesh principle. In relationships, in attitudes, in behavior, try to judge yourself. Are you innocent? Christ has said, anything against him may be tolerated, but nothing against the Adi Shakti. But I must tell you as your mother, it's not true. Maybe against me some things may be tolerated, but nothing against Christ the Lord. Nothing against Lord Ganesha. Everything that is done against him after realization will tear upon you, and you will be thrown out of the realm of God as absolutely degraded people. That is one thing that will not be tolerated, will not be forgiven, will never be acceptable. Whatever you have done in the past is finished now because you are a new bird. But after becoming this, if you try to take to these wrong ideas or to indulge into them, I cannot help you at all. After all, Shri Ganesha is my son. Because he is pure. Now he is not the only son I have. I have so many sons and daughters. And I have made you in the same way as I created Shri Ganesh, without the father, on my own. To your mother, nothing but purity of heart and purity of your body is going to please. Anything that is impure has to be thrown away. My name itself means purity. You can do it. You are empowered to do it. You have a kundalini to do it, but the first thing you have to do is to cleanse that. And the rest, you don't have to worry. Shri Ganesha will look after it. One chakra you keep clean, the rest is looked after. All your incurable diseases, right from all muscular troubles like myelitis and all that, all your incurable diseases right from cancer onwards, all your psychosomatic problems right from schizophrenia and everything come because of the disturbance in Mooladhara. When the roots are not all right, how can you cure the tree? If the roots are all right, then any medicine can reach any center, any area, any place, any fruit. But if the roots are not all right, how can you work it out? Today you have called me here to worship Shri Ganesha within me. Shri Ganesha within me is a powerful identity. While worshipping him, you have to know that such a powerful thing you have to establish within yourself. And by that establishment, you have to manifest the powers of Shri Ganesha. And the power of Shri Ganesha's greatness is auspiciousness. It's a coefficient. It's a formula, we can say, in scientific language, that emits auspiciousness. It's a magnet in the Mother Earth. the same magnet is within you, which is Shri Ganesha. You leave me alone and I can tell you which is the north, south, east, west. Close my eyes, still I'll tell you. You know there are so many birds who fly out all the way to Australia, to Siberia, because they have that magnet with them. They have that innocence with them. There are so many fishes which have got actual magnet placed in them. Scientists should find out. In the same way, Shri Ganesha within us is magnetic. So a person who has Shri Ganesha awakened within himself becomes magnetic. And magnet attracts the steel, not dried leaves, it does not, steel. And steel is like the Guru Tattva. Is the man with the steel, say. Man of steel. A person who has character, conviction, and who cannot be dominated by temptations is a man of steel. So this magnet attracts the steel. Steel has only one bad thing about it, that it is not pliable, it's rather dry. But the magnet attracts means it creates that special quality in the steel that it moves towards the magnet. In the same way, when this magnet is awakened within you, you will be amazed. Instead of people running away from your ashrams, they will be running towards you. I find it impossible. I go to any house. If they come to know I am there, what save me? Anywhere. Any place. So what is this magnet? It's pure love. Is pure love. And the concept of pure love is that it doesn't depend on anything whatsoever but on itself. It is the support of itself. It's like light that spreads just by its own nature. Doesn't want anything, doesn't expect anything. Just spreads all over and enlightens other people's heart. That's why they get attracted. Those who have not even seen me, those who have not even known me, just with my name I have seen. Places like Calcutta, we had such a problem, such crowds, that they said we have to call the police. I said there's no need to call the police, but we'll manage somehow. In Pune we had such crowds that the fellow who gave us the hall got a fright. He said, Mother, I'll give you a very big area where you can sit down in a big open place, but I'm sorry, my hall all will be finished. I said, you don't worry. Everything will be in proper place. We had such crowds that people were sitting on the ground, on the staircase, everywhere. Until I spoke, nobody moved an inch. You see, like a picture. And I spoke for 1.5 hours. Just like a picture. No movement of hand, feet, eyes, nothing. Just sitting like a picture. And the gentleman who owned that hall had never seen such a thing before. Throughout for 1.5 hours, no movement of any kind. What is it that working? Is the magnet. Even if you are the steel, it will attract. But if you are a magnet, then it will attract in such a way that it will never leave this magnet. So for yoga it is important that you fix up your magnets of Shri Ganesha, who is the childlike personality. A child, there's one child, everybody is attracted towards the child. One child gets stuck up somewhere in the air. Whether you are a Russian, American or an Arab, everybody would be worried about the child, what's happening to the child. They will not think it's an Arab child or an American child, no. Unless until it's a devil. Why this attraction for children? Because their magnets are intact. Their ego has not yet developed. Our ego had to develop because we had to decide in our own freedom what is right and what is wrong. So the ego developed was all right. Up to a point we should have developed our ego. But we overdeveloped it. And overdeveloped it. Overlapped the superego also. No conditioning. Nothing. We'll do whatever we like. Today we are wearing a half pant, tomorrow we'll wear a long pant, all right? Then we'll cut our hair or we'll do this, we'll do that. No conditioning of any kind. All superego was also covered. Ego. This ego would have been all right if you had kept your Ganesha tattva. And what is that? Is the wisdom power of Ganesha. The second power of Ganesha is that he gives you wisdom. If you see a farmer and a big professor or a very well educated man and talk to both of them, you will find the farmer has much more wisdom than this MAD, PhD. Why? Because he deals with Mother Earth every day. He knows the living process. He knows about the innocence of the Mother Earth. So an innocent person is the wisest among them. A child who is innocent is much wiser than 10 ego-oriented people. So the second capacity of Shri Ganesha is that you become a wise person. When you speak, people start looking at you. You speak like Kabira, you speak like Nanaka. You speak like something that makes people feel their spirit. This is what I call is a Sahajogi. A Sahajogi who does not have wisdom is good for nothing. He comes to Sahajoga and he is like a bull in a china shop. Goes on hitting this person and hitting that person and hitting that person. And when you ask this 3-wounded person, they say that bull, the same bull. Everybody reports about the same bull. Oh, that's the one. All right. So it grants you wisdom. When you have the power of Shri Ganesha, your eyes are radiant. You get a spark in your eye, a light in your eye. When he is enlightened in you, then you cannot look at anyone with lust and greed. But this glance is so powerful that even one glance is sufficient to purify thousands of people. Just the opening of the eyes are necessary. And you find whole thing changes into a beautiful morning from a complete dark night. Glance can awaken the Kundalini. The mother Kundalini cannot move unless and until Shri Ganesha gives the permission. He is like the Vice Chancellor sitting on all the chakras. He has to certify, all right, passed, go. On every chakra. And when the Kundalini rises, Shri Ganesha is awakened, otherwise Kundalini cannot rise. But then when he sleeps down, Kundalini is sucked by him. Now we think we have lost our innocence. That's not easy to be lost. It is not destructible. Only thing, what you have done is to cover it with something that cannot allow Shri Ganesha's principle to manifest in us. You have pushed it down. You have brought pressure on it. You have brought loads and loads of nonsense on it. That's all. But it never dies. It is an eternal principle of the whole universe. The another quality of a person who is endowed with Shri Ganesha's powers is that he removes all the hurdles. If one person of this nature is in some place, all the rest of the people who are nearby will be saved. If there's an accident or if there's any problem which is destructive, all of them will be saved. You will find this happening too. He being the Ganapati, he is now the master of all the Ganas. He guides you. Sahaj Yoga cannot work out without Shri Ganesh. He is the one who is Sahaj. He is the one who creates all spontaneity of the world. He is the one who takes you to the right path. He is the one who gives you everything easily. He is the one who creates all the chamatkaras, all the magic, all the miracles of the world. He is the Ganapati. He is the one who is sitting on Ganas. In the sense that he is like the king of all the Ganas. The one who has pleased Shri Ganesha has pleased all the gods and goddesses. Because all the gods and goddesses are pleasing Shri Ganesha. So what is the need? And Shri Ganesha is very clever. He knows. Please. His mother is the only simple thing he has to do. To have all the powers of the world. Just keep the mother pleased. There are so many qualities of Shri Ganesha which can be described. He is the one who gives us the joy of eating. If you eat some food, you may like it, you may not like it. But he is the one who will tell you it is made by Sajuvis, it is made by your mother. That means he gives you the taste of love in the food that is good for you. Because he is love. He gives you the ideas how to express your love. Once they asked me to sing a song. I used to sing very well once upon a time. But then after lecturing so many times, you see, I think I lost my voice, I couldn't sing well. I thought so. One day they asked me to sing a song and I thought of some song and sang to them. And after a year or so in a program, they said, "Mother, we want to sing you a song." This was a song unknown to everyone. I don't know from where they got it, from where they made the tune. They started singing the same song. And such joy, it all became waves of tears in my eyes. I couldn't control my joy. Now all this feeling of joy comes from the devices produced by Shri Ganesha. He is busy creating relationships, beautiful. How? In a birthday, a child's birthday, what do we say? Alright, so tomorrow morning, there's a bird is going to drop a present for you. And then the child gets up and sees, there's no bird. It's only Ganesha who has given the idea. We can say he's a Santa Claus. He gives you ways and methods and he tells you how to delicately build up relationships, pure relationships. How you hide, how you wrap a little present, just put it there, and a person who has to take it sees it, oh God. And then you see that. Flowers, which you suddenly bring out and put there, is all Shri Ganesha's efforts, his ways, his suggestions. Among the creation, flowers are expressing Shri Ganesha's essence. And the essence of Shri Ganesha comes from the Mother Earth's essence, is the fragrance. So a person who is endowed with Shri Ganesha's blessings has fragrance. Sometimes chandan, sometimes roses, sometimes this gardenia. You just don't know from where the fragrance is coming. The fragrance is coming from Shri Ganesh. And that is what is the magnet within you. Such a person is fragrant, absolutely fragrant all the time. Shri Ganesha emits all kinds of fragrance from such a person. And that you can only feel when your Shri Ganesha is all right. There is no end to the description of this great deity within you. He is just settled down there. He is all the time there, waiting to be cleansed out, for him to raise his head like a lotus in the mud. to just help it out by respecting it, and He'll be there fragrant within you. So important for this country, where we have raised our head without surrendering it to the Virata, to the collectivity, to Shri Krishna. We have raised our head with Shri Ganesha. We bow down our head for all the bounties that God has bestowed upon us. All arrogance will disappear at the lotus feet of Shri Ganesh. He'll give us wisdom. He'll give us sense to understand. He'll give us power to overcome our arrogance that is within us. He is the one who is the giver of knowledge. He is the one who gives us light. Many people in India also worship Shri Ganesha. Go on, Shri Ganesh, Shri Ganesh, Shri Ganesh, Shri. And do all kinds of funny things. That's like cheating yourself unnecessarily. It's so simple to establish Shri Ganesh within you. But understand that it is vital that you people who are Sahajogis should establish Shri Ganesh, which is a silent power within it. It doesn't talk. It's a silent power which acts. Just a power that's dynamic, without any noise, without any show. And that is what I would say that today, when I have said all these things from my heart, you, the Sahajogis, will establish Shri Ganesha within you, and from you, you will emit such powers that others will be able to establish their Shri Ganesha in this country. May God bless you.
अब हम सब श्री माता जी को प्रणाम करके आरती के लिए खड़े होंगे. Let us all now rise for आरती.
सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने लिए अवतार, माँ कितने लिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा, तू गंगा यमुना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको, माँ सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, लौट के ना जाना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर दिया उजियारा, माँ कर दिया उजियारा। कलियुग में माया है, कलियुग में माया है, फिर भी पहचाना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर, दुख से दूर करना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सब दिल में आए तब मधुर संगीत सुन लो, हाँ मधुर संगीत सुन लो। हो सके जो सेवा, हो सके जो सेवा हमसे करा देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माता
श्री माता जी, आज इस ध्यान के माध्यम से जो प्रेम और आशीर्वाद आपने हमें प्रदान किए हैं, उनके लिए हम हृदय से सभी सहयोगी बच्चे आपके श्री चरणों में नमन करते हैं माँ, बारंबार प्रणाम करते हैं श्री माता जी। हमारा अनंत कोटि प्रणाम आपके श्री चरणों में। मदर, for today's blessing of this beautiful meditation, for all your divine blessings and for your love, we humbly bow down at your lotus feet and offer our pranamas again and again. जय श्री माता जी।